Yeah, morning guys. Quick review here of the trades from last night. The last half of the video we'll do some gematria on the Arkansas State Police Troopers. And what I wanted to show you here, take this opportunity to show you some more broker manipulation. They choose to hold back on delivering us price on indexes from time to time. If you look at the time here, it's 24 hours, and now you can see it's shortened, and there's a gap there in price. It's an example of why we need to know the mechanics of how all this works in the event they do things like this. Because this is their chance to do it, right? It's an index that they provide. It's not real, but they provide it so they can play with it. And that's what they're doing here. You know, maybe in the event someone feels like they're onto something that week and they're trying to study it and they need certain amount of days to analyze their productivity in terms of how many buys and sells they did on whatever strategy they're working on, and all of a sudden this happens and they're like, okay, now I need to wait a week, because this whole thing is about it's decay. Time is decay, and the longer we spend doing this, the more we decay. So that's what they want. We could see here, as forecasted, that the pound will grind lower. It has grinded lower, and it's quite steep relative to the other ones. Euro's got a bit more here. The LFX has increased. We'll look at this fractal here. We know about this. And since then it's increased, so we'd want to be anticipating a pullback here in the yen, but for a real pullback to happen in the yen, we need a dollar up move, which it doesn't look like it's gonna have. It only appears to be slowing here relative to its last path, but that is if we look at the pound during that same period of time. You see it's steeper, so pound has built up more selling pressure during that time, which would mean that if the pound comes down and the dollar has slightly slowed, then we can have a pound dollar down move while the dollar slightly rises to help the LFX do a pullback. And that's, I think, what we're about to see next. But we're not going to buy yens. Since then, over here, the New Zealand's increased its strength, and you can see here's the gap here. But New Zealand, what it appears that they've done is, how many bars is this across? 263. 171. So they're holding back on, you know, almost 90 odd candles, 5-minute candles. So 90 times, let's get the calculator out here. 90 times 5 equals 450 5-minute candles. So yeah, that's how much they're delaying it. But it doesn't matter because we see the opening price, the current price here. So we know what it's done relative to where we were last night. Still, so we're not dependent on them playing games with us. And if it got too crazy, well, then no problem. We'll just move over to the indexes as a whole on their own, and we try to find the same thing. So that means that we would probably be able to add to our sells in pound New Zealand. Well, Swiss is still weak, so that's what we're hoping to see. So because pound has increased relative, then I'm assuming that we're going to have a continuation pound. Euro's also weak, so that would give it a bit of momentum, if you want to use that term. So let's do that. I mean, that's the only one I can really see is a reload on pound New Zealand. Let's do that. Oops. Sorry, I think I said 450 5-minute candles earlier. They've held back on price. I meant to say 450 minutes, basically. So it's a few hours, good few hours. All right, so let's add to this then. And in doing so, we'll take one of those off, and let's see what we got before we do that. So we'll take the worst one. And pound Aussie, we got we got one. We might want to take off some of the yens as well. There's a dollar yen, maybe we'll take that one of those off. But for now, we'll add to this. Let's look at the Aussie here, wherever that's gone. Yeah. Now it has strengthened, but it's not significant enough for us to want to reload the Aussie here. But for the purpose of this video, we'll take a little bit of this off. All right. Now we got, because it's Friday, so we'll get rid of that. Is this a 22 one? Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's not really, but it would be nice to close up some of this margin. So let's do that. Are we in a dollar yen? No, yeah, we're not in any of those. Okay, no problem. Okay. Looked at that. Oh, what about the Swiss? How's that doing? Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, that's very good. I want to get rid of that because it's annoying. Okay. I think we have a Euro pound and a Euro Swiss. We're deep in the Euro Swiss. Let's see how we're doing there. Okay. All right, we'll get rid of the top one and the other one below it because this has gone on for 13 weeks holding these, something stupid like that. And then we'll leave the rest to the target. We all know where the target is. Go back and look in the video. Euro pound as well, which we can hold. Yeah, we want to be holding this. Be nice to get another one in somewhere in here. Is there a Swiss pound? Let's see. No, we didn't take any of those. That's because they're both strong relative to the yen, so we didn't want to touch that. That's right. That New Zealand CAD sell, I suppose we got that. Must have hit the target, wherever that was. That was a while back, right? So we must have hit the target at some point. It was over here, I guess. I don't know. That was like 10 videos back. We were holding that for ages. Okay, so that'll do, guys. Let's move on now to the Gematria. Before we do that, we'll take a quick review here. 517 in drawdown, 1.2 million. So we're making progress anyway. That's good. All right. Now onto the Gematria here. Let's bring up the snipping tool. All right. One second. All right. All right. So this is a live or recorded webcams of real police officers, troopers in Arkansas, and this is the trooper's name. They did not write trooper here. They give him the name Nathan Williams. So we will use that name in our analysis. And we will discover why he's been recruited to be a high-speed pursuit officer. As when you're attempting to be recruited for any of these jobs, they will always ask you your given names, previous names, nicknames, middle names. They want all of it. And that is because it's all energy here. This is Nathan Williams, okay? And his number here is 57. Remember, we go either Chaldean or reduction. We do reduction with a name like Nathan Williams, as that would clearly be a modern name, which would derive from when the Roman Empire came after the Greek world order and gave us Latin, which then derived into Anglo. So we want to look at these numbers for these types of modern names. And we can glance over here. Okay. We can also glance over here. We see 156 right there. We simply add it to the case when it's like that. We don't go all in. However, this one we will go all in because it is a direct tie to his modern name. So 57 we are looking for. Now let's see what the number 57 gives us. Um, 57, and now we can use this number because obviously police pursuit can be an old term, and so can police. Police goes back forever. So we've got the number 57 right there. Okay, well maybe it's a coincidence. Well, let's move on then. We'll find some more guys. Let's look up this fella here. His name, they choose to give him the name Trooper S. Niles. Okay. You see, they gave him, sorry, D. Niles. They gave him the trooper. They issued it in their uh, naming for this guy. All right. So we'll use that then, Trooper D. Niles, and we'll see what we can find. Personally, with that, I wouldn't go. That could be both an old or a new name. Niles. Niles, I don't believe is by any means new. So we have the number 56. Okay, for Trooper D. Niles. So what is he doing? He remember we discussed this. If you want to play in the movie successfully, you need to be using these 56 numbers. That magnetizes energy to help you play the game. Not the game of life. That's 45. I'm referring to the game, i.e., the finances, this reality acting in it. For example, the C word was all tied to the number 56. What did they do there? They shut all the businesses down and left the corporations open while the corporations got rich. I'd walk past the Apple store at 8 o'clock in the morning. Guys were lining up, willing to hand out their names and numbers and addresses just so they could enter these stores. That's how dependent they are on this reality. So the elite, the crown, who runs this, who's controlled by the sun, the relationship of the sun and the moon, so God, they the reflection down below was everybody going along playing the movie 56. Uh, but people think that's just the C word it's tied to. Well, it's not. It's a broad. It goes all the way back. So it's whatever the movie is in your reality to succeed. You want to be trying to operate with these 56 numbers. So Trooper D Niles is playing in the movie. Okay. Well, that doesn't tell us that he's anything specifically talented at police chases. So let's look in the Gematria for another tie to 56 in terms of police pursuit or police chase or high speed pursuit. Those type of names. Let's look here. Here it is. I found it here. Okay, what we have here is high speed chase, and we have the number 56. Okay, so let's maybe that's a coincidence. Perhaps let's perhaps we'll move on to another one. We this is all a coincidence. All of this is one big accident. Um, okay, here's one here, slightly different one. Trooper A. Duncan dash Fleminster. Fleminster. I've left out the trooper only because I just saw this number here, 96, and then 66, and also 165, so 56. You remove the one. You can remove the one in Gematria for anyone that hasn't been up to speed with that. So if we put the trooper in, what's it going to give us? Well, we have to look and find out for ourselves and then add to the case that we already have. Um, so, I mean, the yin and yang as above, as below, um, and the 66 and the 165, I mean, that was enough for me, quite frankly. Um, what do we have under the number 96, if that's what we're looking for? Well, what we have under the yin and yang, we could say 69 also, but I chose 96 as we need this to be, real close here. So we got the number 96, okay, under the name High Speed Pursuit Chase, Pursuit. Yeah, and that's about it, really. If you guys want to find out more on yourselves, just type in things like this. If you're curious as to know what you're being used for, why you're here, um, you get your number, your main number, figure out what it is, um, whether it's in Chaldean or reduction, try to figure it out, and then if you know that you're a tobacco seller or you sold tobacco in the past and you were successful at it, you had customers calling you, well, then you're obviously number 45 if your name with all the initials says 45. Then you keep going from there and find other things that are adding to it. And then you'll find what you're going to be good at. But you'll know, you don't even need this. You know what you're good at, what you're interested in. Um, when I typed in my name the other day, I'm going to have to, where is it here?
when I typed in mine the other day, I was quite pleasantly surprised, but I always knew that I had a high interest for this. So we'll just remove my name because I don't want it to be on YouTube. And I'm deleting it right now with blue, the magenta, and we've got the number 56, which is my name without the trooper. So my full name with initials gives me 56. Trooper initials, my last name gives me 56. So that means I'd only be able to be a trooper, a high-speed pursuit officer in those in territories that still have troopers. If you write sergeant or officer, then my name, we don't get the number 56 or anything close to any of thing related to high-speed pursuits. Um, so we need to operate in order for me to be successful as a high-speed pursuit officer. I would need to move to Arkansas, Alaska, upstate New York, wherever, whoever still has troopers. And then they would open the doors and the recruitment process would be easier. Um, it also means that you be protected during the chase too. Um, so yeah, that's how it all works, folks. I was curious why, since I was 3 years old, I've always been watching high speed pursuits, and then I've been a courier for 20 years, and just into this, Um, so that's why. There was another gematria I wanted to do here. Oh, and one more here. So we saw the tobacco one. But we also have tobacco seller here, 45. So if your name gives you that, okay, then you can go and do this, okay, and you'll be protected. Start growing your own tobacco outside. Now, if your name has also got the number 56 in it, maybe your nickname is 45 and your real name is 56. Well, now all of a sudden we have a double whammy of um, odds enhancers to increase our productivity, okay, on tobacco, the tobacco business. And again, it's just an example of something that you could be using. So if your name is whatever, 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 okay, B, Z, okay, find your initials, find your name. If you've got this number, and then if you can change, if you put the full name in or your nickname and replace your first name with your nickname, and you have a theme of this, and you can back it up with other cases, and you're interested in those examples like I just gave you, then you know your role. You can start to figure it out here. Um, but anyway, guys, that's it, I suppose. Have yourself a great day. Peace.